If you're in sales, I'm gonna show you how to be the sales leader at your company in these 4 simple steps. All right, step 1, you need to organize your data. If you do not have a CRM system in place, then how could you possibly do the next steps? You're not gonna be able to. You have to have all your data organized, and the data has to be up to date. Live and breathe inside of that system. That is what's going to be able to keep you focused and organized to do follow-ups and know what you need to do next. Without that system, you're gonna be completely lost. You may be able to get by with a system that is not as robust or using a spreadsheet, but that's only a temporary fix. You are human and you're gonna forget to do things. The more deals that you have, the more opportunities, the more calls you're making, all that stuff will get forgotten, and that is how you're going to lose opportunities. So if there's opportunities out there, you have to have it organized in a central spot. The best one that I like right now is gonna be HubSpot. We are a HubSpot partner, and I teach people how to use it every day from a sales standpoint and marketing. There are other systems out there. You just have to figure out what works best for you to quickly get answers to your data questions, know and plan your day accordingly, and be able to easily input and update everything that you're doing. Step 2, you need to have a conversation when you're pitching and listen to the responses. Too often salespeople are going into it saying, this is everything I need to throw up. They do the show up and throw up. I'm gonna throw up all this information and wait for them to kind of pick what is it that they want to learn more about. You have to go to it from a standpoint. I was just having a conversation with one of my biz dev people here this morning. Everything in sales, whether it's a cold call, warm call, follow-up, discovery call, everything is a conversation. Ask some open-ended fact-finding questions and then wait and listen to those responses. The rest of that conversation, I don't care, you may be thinking like, oh, that's great for cold calls, but what about when we're reviewing a proposal? It's the same process. You go into it with, look, I don't have an agenda. These are the things that I would like to have as the outcome, but how we get there does not matter to me. Let me ask you, as the person that is having the issue on the discovery call, doing the proposal feedback, whatever it is, let me ask you, what is your biggest pain point? What made you have this call with us today? Why did you reach out to us? Things like that. And then sit and listen and let them talk. Then once they do give you more information, then shape the conversation around that. If they start talking about one area, do not just divert it and go back to what you want to pitch, then go deeper into that area. Keep remembering the 2 or 3 main points or issues that they're having and touch on each one of those. People love in a conversation when the person on the opposite end says something like, hey Kyle, earlier you said this, and you can speak it verbatim. Let's dive into that a little bit deeper. If you're talking to somebody and you want to know if they're actively listening to you, when they say things like that, that is a huge indicator. So you have to look at it from a conversation standpoint, be loose and relaxed, don't be overstressed. What's the worst that's gonna happen at the end of the day? So once you ask those questions, listen to the responses actively and then continue the conversation from there. Step number 3, you need to respond quickly. And when I mean quickly, I mean quickly. I mean like within 30 seconds, 3 minutes, 2 hours. You need to respond quickly to anybody that's asking you a question, whether it's your ideally internal customers, which would be your coworkers. If they have a question, if they need something, respond as fast as possible if you see it, but especially if you're client facing. When somebody says, hey, I'd like to change the meeting time, I'd like to ask you this question, they text you, they send you an email asking for further information, respond as fast as possible. You have to set the tone that you are there to provide them with a solution. You're not there to sell them anything, you're there to provide them with a solution. And in order to get them to that point where you can start delivering that solution that you're promising, you have to give fast responses. You need to set up your team as well and say, look, I've been texting with this person, now they're a customer, this is the level of communication they're looking for, this is what they're accustomed to, this is what they're requiring. But too often, especially in industrial and manufacturing sector, people are like, oh yeah, I've got a quote opportunity and I'm gonna do it in 3 days, 7 days, 13 days, and I'm gonna give as many excuses as I need to say I'm waiting for this pricing, this person to call me back. Get the answers to the questions, get them pricing back as fast as possible. If they give you a deadline, send that quote to me by this Friday, which is in, let's say, 5 days. Get it to them in 2 days, get it to them in 3 days. The first mover's advantage is gonna be the person that sets the tone and sets the bar. If you send in your pricing first, then everybody else has to live up to that level. If your proposal, like ours, our proposals are anywhere from 12 to 20, 30 pages long because we give examples and details and exactly what we're gonna do for our clients and everything in between and references, and then that sets the tone. If one of our competitors comes in and gives them like a 3-page proposal, they're gonna be like expecting something slightly different because we were the first one there. You have to take a sense of urgency and respond as fast as possible to any inquiries. Step number 4, follow-up. The money is made in the follow-up. You can have 100 people that come to your website, fill out forms asking you for pricing. If you do not keep it organized, step number 1, with your data and follow up, then you will not make nearly as much money as you possibly can. Anybody can have a conversation, send out pricing. The difference between those that are sales champions and those that are just sales people are going to be those that follow up consistently. All of your data has to be organized. You have to know when's the last time you touched them, when are you going to touch them next, setting tasks. As people ghost you, you may be thinking, this person doesn't want to do business with me, they ghost me. I've reached out to them 3 times in the last month and they're not responding, but they may just be busy. There are numerous times. I just made 5 calls yesterday following up with people. One person I've been chasing for 6 months and continuously ghosts me to find out that they had some issues internally, they had some projects take off, and they want to talk to us next week to put some eyes back on what we were discussing. That stuff happens. I don't care what the industry is, what you're selling, that stuff will happen. People get distracted and sent off course, and you have to continuously stay in front of them. Do not take it personal. Nobody is intentionally not responding to you from a standpoint of, I don't want to respond to them because I don't like them, whatever. It's most likely, give them the benefit of the doubt, most likely they're just busy. But have you done multiple types of follow-up? Are you just sending an email over and over again? Most of the time, if you're doing that and they're not responding, they're never going to respond. You need to pick up the phone and call them. If you have their cell phone number and you leave them a voicemail, send them a text message. Yesterday, I think it was 5 or 6 people, I called them, left them a voicemail, texted them, and emailed them, and one person I even added a 4th method, and I poked them on LinkedIn and sent them a message. Now, is that obsessive? Maybe, but you know what? I have a higher likelihood to get a response from them. Even if it's a, hey, I'm just looking to know, is this deal still on the table? Did you guys pick somebody else to do this? Can I close it out and pull it off my pipeline? You're never gonna find the answers if you don't follow up. Too often, salespeople are focused on the lowest hanging fruit. Who's gonna close today? Who's gonna close tomorrow? Ooh, new opportunity, I'm gonna work on that. And eventually, as your pipeline gets bigger and bigger, you're gonna forget about the people that were 30, 60, 90 days ago. And then you're just gonna be like, yeah, if they wanted to buy from us, they would have responded. No, that's not how it works. You have to be hungry and you have to be aggressive going after it and never forget about any opportunity. I've got deals that I'm still calling on from over a year ago because I just can't get the person to call me back. If I have to, I will go in and do a personal visit if I'm in the area to find out whatever happened with that. Did you guys ever pick? And if you need to, go around them. If the person that you're trying to get in touch with is not responding to you, sometimes you have to go around them. Had a case of that 2 weeks ago. The person obviously wasn't getting my emails. They were probably stuck in spam. I'm leaving voicemails. They probably never checked their email. Found them on LinkedIn, commented on one of their posts. After that post was commented on, they still didn't respond. So I went a step further and said, I don't know who this person's boss is, but I'm gonna look at their title, find somebody with the name senior in front of it, and try and reach out and say, hey, look, I don't want to keep bothering this person. They're not responding to me. I just want to know, is this project dead or alive? The person responded back that night at about 9 o'clock at night on LinkedIn and said, yeah, that project is still alive. I will make sure that that person responds to you. Now, I wasn't trying to like call daddy on the person and get them in trouble. I was just trying to figure out, should I keep bothering this person? Did they change scope? Is there somebody else I should be following up with because I'm not getting anywhere with this person? Had a meeting with the person that was not responding to me, and it was a great conversation. We have another one set up in 60 days to relook at the entire project. It's all about the follow-up. If you got value out of this, share this with one person you know. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications. If you want to listen to it in podcast form, head over to Technical Sales and Marketing. Follow me on LinkedIn, and we will see you on the next one.